The day the galaxy challenged humanity, the transmission reached Earth at 600 hours, Greenwich Mean Time. It wasn't a warning. It wasn't a negotiation. It was a simple declaration of extinction, broadcast in 47 languages, delivered simultaneously to every government, every military base, every radio telescope pointed at the stars. Humanity, you have 7 days. Surrender or perish. 3 alien empires had spoken as one voice for the first time in galactic history. The machine confluence, cold, calculating billions of self-replicating war drones. The Shadowkin Imperium, telepathic predators who fed on fear itself. The Void Hunters, ancient, massive creatures that traveled between stars like sharks through an ocean. Separately, any one of them could glass a planet. Together, the galaxy had never seen such overwhelming force. Earth's military analysts ran the numbers in 14 minutes. 10 alien warships for every 1 human vessel. The conclusion was unanimous. Humanity would be extinct within 72 hours of first contact. Deep under the Colorado mountains, General Marcus Wanho stood in the emergency command center, 2 miles beneath solid granite, staring at holographic projections of the enemy fleet. Red dots, thousands of them, closing in from 3 directions like a noose tightening around Earth's throat. They're giving us 7 days, his second-in-command said quietly. That's more time than they've given anyone. Wanho's jaw tightened. They're not being merciful. They're being theatrical. They want us to feel the fear. They want us to break before they even fire a shot. Sir, the UN is calling for an emergency session. Some nations want to surrender immediately. Of course they do. Wanho turned away from the projection. Because the math says we lose. Logic says we lose. Every strategic simulation says we lose. Then what do we do? Wanho smiled. A cold, dangerous expression that his enemies had learned to fear during the resource wars of 2089. We stop playing by their rules. He tapped his command console. Get me Captain Jiwan in the asteroid belt. Major Heijin on orbital platform 7. Commander Kyongu with the Marine divisions. And find Dr. Dune. I don't care if she's in the middle of a quantum experiment. Tell her humanity needs her brain. Sir, what are you planning? Something no alien AI can predict. Wanho's eyes gleamed. We're going to fight like humans. The belt. Jawan's mining colony captain Sarah Jawan floated in zero gravity, watching Jupiter's massive form fill the viewport of her mining station. Around her, 300 converted cargo haulers and mining rigs drifted in formation. The ugliest fleet ever assembled. When Wanho's message came through, she laughed so hard she nearly choked. You want us to do what with Jupiter? Use it. Wanho's voice crackled through the comm. Use gravity. Use momentum. Use everything those mining rigs can do. The aliens think in terms of warships and weapons. Show them what desperate engineers can build. Jiwan looked at her crew, miners, dock workers, cargo pilots. Not a single military officer among them. Just people who knew how to move heavy objects through space and keep machines running on duct tape and prayer. All right, people, she called out. We're about to turn the biggest planet in the solar system into a slingshot. Who wants to throw some asteroids at aliens? The cheers echoed through every ship in the belt. Orbital Platform 7. Above Earth, Major Heijin stood on the observation deck of Platform 7, looking down at Earth's blue marble. Her station was one of 12 massive defense platforms orbiting the planet. Each one bristled with railguns, missiles, and energy weapons. She was also the only commander who had painted her entire platform bright, pink and mounted speakers that could broadcast music into the vacuum of space. They're going to think, "You're insane," her XO had said. When she ordered the paint job, good. Heijin had replied, "Let them think we're insane. Confusion is a weapon too." When Wanho's orders came through, she grinned. So we're going full chaos mode? Full chaos, Wanho confirmed. Make them question everything they think they know about warfare. Heijin cracked her knuckles. Time to introduce the galaxy to humanity's greatest military strategy, weaponized weirdness. She turned to her crew. Load the speakers with everything. Beethoven, death metal, K-pop, polka. I want those alien AIs so confused they crash trying to analyze our psychological warfare patterns. Kyongu's Marines, somewhere in the Pacific, Commander James Tionorn. Kyongu stood on the deck of the USS Defiance, addressing 2,000 Marine Special Forces. These were humanity's best. trained for combat in every environment from deep ocean trenches to lunar craters. But none of their training covered telepathic aliens who could turn fear into a weapon. Listen up. Kyongu's voice boomed across the deck. The Shadowkin read minds. They amplify fear. They make you see your worst nightmares until you're paralyzed with terror. He held up a datapad. So here's our counter strategy. We fill our heads with so much noise they can't find the fear. A Marine raised her hand. Sir, what kind of noise? Kyongu's grin was absolutely feral. Heavy metal, thrash, death metal, grindcore, the loudest, angriest, most aggressive music humanity ever created. We're going to think so loud they won't be able to hear themselves think. He raised his fist. When those telepathic bastards try to crawl into our minds, they're going to find nothing but Metallica and pure human rage. The roar of approval shook the deck. Dr. Dune's lab, Geneva Doctor. Elena Dune barely noticed when her lab door burst open. She was too focused on the quantum algorithms cascading across her screens. Beautiful, elegant patterns of probability and possibility. Dr. Dune, General Wanho needs— I know what he needs, she said without looking up. He needs a miracle. Fortunately, I've been working on something even better. She finally turned around, her eyes wild with sleepless brilliance. A quantum virus, something that can infiltrate their networks, learn their communication protocols, and make them think their allies are enemies. Is that even possible? Dr. Dune's smile was the expression of someone who had stopped caring about possible weeks ago. Humanity is outnumbered 10-1. Possible stopped mattering the moment they gave us 7 days. She turned back to her screens. Now get out. I have 3 alien empires to hack. The message 6 days later, Wanho sent a response to the 3 empires. It was short, simple, and absolutely human. 7 days? That's cute. Come and take it. The galaxy didn't understand the reference. They would learn. When Jupiter became a weapon, the machine confluence fleet arrived first. They came through the asteroid belt like a swarm of metal locusts. 3,000 autonomous warships, each one calculating trajectories, analyzing threats, running battle simulations at speeds no biological mind could match. Their AI commanders had already won this battle in 10,000 simulations. Human mining equipment versus military dreadnoughts? The outcome was mathematically certain. Captain Sarah Jawan watched them approach on her screens and smiled. All right, you metal bastards, she whispered. Let's see how your fancy AI handles this. The belt, mining station Echo, the machine confluence had made their first mistake the moment they entered the asteroid belt. They thought like warriors. Humans thought like miners. Contact in 30 minutes, Jiwan's navigator called out. They're not even trying to dodge the asteroids, just plowing through them. Of course they are, Jiwan said. Their shields can handle rock. Why waste processing power on evasion? She pulled up the tactical display, showing Jupiter's massive gravity well and the carefully plotted courses of 300 mining vessels. They don't know we've been setting this up for 6 days. Around her station, converted cargo haulers had spent nearly a week doing what they did best, moving heavy objects through space. Except this time they weren't mining ore, they were positioning asteroids, hundreds of them. Thousands of tons of iron and rock, each one carefully nudged into a precise orbit around Jupiter. Not random, not defensive, a trap. Status on the slingshot? Jiwan asked. Her chief engineer grinned. Jupiter's gravity is locked and loaded, Captain. We've got 47 asteroids in perfect alignment. Each one's going to come around that gas giant at 0.7% light speed. Jiwan's XO whistled. That's faster than their point defense systems can track. That's the idea. Jiwan opened the fleet-wide channel. All ships, this is Echo Actual. Remember, we're not soldiers. We're construction workers. And these alien ships? She smiled coldly. They're just another demolition job. 300 voices answered as one. Copy that. Captain. First contact. The Confluence learns about physics. The machine Confluence Vanguard consisted of 200 dreadnoughts, each one bristling with plasma cannons, kinetic barriers, and tactical AI that had conquered 17 species. They detected the human mining ships immediately. Threat assessment. Minimal recommended action. Ignore, proceed to primary target. The lead AI dismissed the converted cargo haulers as irrelevant. Old human vessels, barely armed, scattered throughout the belt. Not worth the ammunition. Then the first asteroid came around Jupiter. Jiwan's mining rig. The rusty hammer. Release Package 1, Jiwan shouted. Her weapons officer, a former dock worker named Chen, slammed his fist on the release trigger. In Jupiter's orbit, magnetic clamps released, a 2-million-ton asteroid. Accelerated by 6 days of careful orbital mechanics and Jupiter's immense gravity, came screaming out from behind the gas giant like a bullet from God's own rifle. Velocity, 0.7% light speed. Target, machine confluence. Dreadnought Alpha 7. The alien ship's AI had exactly 2.3 seconds to react. It wasn't enough. The asteroid hit the dreadnought's shields at relativistic speed. Physics did the rest. The impact released more energy than a nuclear bomb. The shields flared white-hot, overloaded, and shattered. The asteroid, now a superheated projectile of molten metal and rock, punched through the hull like a fist through paper. The dreadnought exploded in a cascade of secondary detonations. Package 1, delivered. Chen screamed. Jiwan's smile was savage. Release packages 2 through 47. Let's see their AI calculate that. The machine confluence fleet, confusion across the alien fleet. Every tactical AI simultaneously updated their threat assessment. Threat level. Critical unknown weapon system detected, velocity exceeds. Conventional parameters, evasive maneuvers required. But there was nowhere to evade to. Jiwan had turned Jupiter into a railgun with a 47-round magazine. Asteroids came screaming out of the gas giant's gravity, well in a perfectly timed sequence. Each one aimed at a different target. Each one moving too fast for point defense systems designed for conventional missiles. The machine ships tried to scatter, tried to calculate safe vectors, tried to predict the trajectory patterns. They failed, because Jiwan wasn't using predictable military tactics. She was using mining logistics. The same calculations her crews used to move ore between stations, optimized over decades of dangerous, ugly, practical work. The aliens had war algorithms, humans had experience. Mining ship Lucky Strike, a Chen's miracle shot captain. Chen's voice crackled through the comm. We've got a problem. 3 confluence destroyers are breaking formation, coming straight for us. Jiwan checked her screens. The alien ships had finally figured out the mining rigs were the source of the asteroid bombardment. Now they were targeting the humans instead of dodging rocks. Time to intercept? 4 minutes. Good. Jiwan's hands flew across her console. That gives us just enough time. Enough time for what? To use our secret weapon. She pulled up a trajectory plot. Chen, you see that nickel-iron asteroid at bearing 270? The one that's 0.3 kilometers wide? That's the one. How fast can you get a tow line on it? Chen's eyes went wide. Captain, are you serious? That thing masses 8 billion tons. Our tow cables can't. We don't need to move it. We just need to spin it. Jiwan's grin was absolutely manic. Clip it on the edge. Give it rotational momentum. Then let Jupiter do the rest. There was a long pause. Captain, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I'll take that as a compliment. To it. 2 minutes later. The mining ship Lucky Strike, a rust bucket cargo hauler that was older than most of its crew, fired its tow cables at the massive asteroid. The magnetic clamps attached to the surface with a clang that rattled through the hull. Contact, Chen shouted. Engaging lateral thrusters? The ship's engines screamed. Every weld groaned. The hull shuddered like it was about to tear apart. The asteroid began to spin, slowly at first, then faster. The rotation built momentum, caught by Jupiter's gravity, amplified by orbital mechanics that most military strategists never even considered. It's working, someone shouted. Detach! Detach now! Jiwan ordered. The cables released. The 8-billion-ton asteroid tumbled into Jupiter's gravity well, spinning like a bullet, and came rocketing out on the other side at impossible speed. It missed the 3 confluence destroyers. But it hit the command carrier behind them. The command carrier, though. Machine Confluence Command Carrier was the size of a small city. It coordinated the entire fleet, housed the central tactical AI, and was protected by shields that could withstand sustained nuclear bombardment. None of that mattered when 8 billion tons of spinning metal hit it at relativistic speed. The carrier didn't explode, it disintegrated, a flash of white light, a shockwave that scattered debris across 1,000,000 kilometers, and then silence. Every machine confluence ship in the belt suddenly lost coordination. No command structure. No tactical oversight. just thousands of individual AI units trying to process what had just happened. Jiwan watched the chaos unfold on her screens. Mining station echo to all ships, she said calmly. The demolition is complete. Excellent work, everyone. Let's go home. Deep space. The machine confluence retreat of the 3,000 warships that entered the asteroid belt. Fewer than 800 limped away. The survivors transmitted a single message back to the confluence core worlds. Humanity possesses unknown kinetic weapons. Conventional assault inadvisable, recommend strategic withdrawal. But the message that truly terrified the galaxy came from Captain Sarah Jiwan herself. She broadcasted on open channels, ensuring every alien empire could hear. To any fleet thinking about messing with Earth's asteroid belt, we're miners. We move rocks for a living, and we just demonstrated what happens when you bring warships to a demolition site. Next time we'll use the big asteroids. General Wanho's command center, sir, the machine confluence is retreating, an officer reported. Wanho nodded slowly, watching the tactical display. 1/3 of the alien coalition had just been shattered by mining equipment. Good. That's one empire down. He turned to his communications officer. What's the status on the Shadowkin Imperium? They're approaching Earth orbit. ETA 12 hours, Wanho's expression hardened. The telepathic predators who fed on fear, the ones who could paralyze entire armies without firing a shot. Get me Commander Kyongu. It's time for his Marines to show the galaxy what happens when you try to weaponize human emotions. He smiled grimly. The Shadowkin are about to learn that humanity's fear isn't a weakness. It's fuel.